How's it going, everybody? I'm here with the main man, Scottie. We're here to break down this garbage dumpster fire event that is the Mockingbird apparent release method. But first things first, the happy news, the good news. We got Scottie with us. How's it going, Scottie?
Going
Yeah.
good.
That was a good little face turn right there. And on that note, let's get into the video. All right, so here we go. The first things first, we got a web milestone event happening on. This is not very complicated. Why don't you break it down for us?
Yeah, so it's a repeating web milestone, so it's daily. It just takes 10 raid battles a day. So between Greek and Doom/Incursion, I think that should be fairly easy, and it's play, so you don't even have to win.
Perfect. So if, say, your alliance is going to be skipping a raid so that you can go hard next season, you can just lose a couple of those Greek raids to make sure you get your 10 in. And that's a pretty substantial amount of mystical energy, as we're going to see. Then we have the actual event, which is War Battle New Avengers, War with Tigra 5, War with Tigra 7, Play War Battle. All of that has limits on it. And then Spend Mystical Energy, which is the... that's going to be the whale factor. That's the one that doesn't have limits on it, right?
Yep.
All right. The total we need is 400,000. The monthly item, I have it cut off there. It's 178,000. So let's start with not 400,000. So why don't we quickly explain why we are not starting with 400,000 like we normally would?
Because it's not even obtainable. So like even if you have a 7-star Tigra, it doesn't even get you to the next milestone, which is 17. So I just focused on 16, which I think is kind of like the max that you can technically get to. I guess for the Krakens who want to buy, I think when I looked at it with, I think with the 5-star Tigra, at least they would have to spend 40,000 energy during this, like extra. This is extra on top of the cord energy. So, like the 12k energy offer, they'd have to buy that 4 times. If they had a 7-star Tigra, I think then they'd only have to buy it 3 times. But that's like $300-$400 to finish the event.
Yeah.
So just compared to the like events that we've had, which I thought were much more reasonable, especially for like getting to the end milestone that has the gear tier 18 pieces. This is very far from it, and it's a leaderboard event, which has even more at stake. So the Krakens are going to Kraken, and the more reasonable people are going to look at milestones 15 probably. But for 16, if you do want to get there, 5-star Tigra. As far as playing with the new Avengers, I mean, technically you don't have to unlock Tigra to do this. You would just have to use them probably twice, depending on who you have. Like if you don't have Mockingbird yet, and you just have the 3-piece, like you're probably not going to use just one of them. So probably just doing it twice will get you to the limit.
Yeah.
And then playing in war battles, it's just 8 battles per war. They're not wins, so technically you can lose as well, so that's good. And then energy-wise, like this was just kind of looking at today, the bonus day, doing the 50 and 100 core refreshes, and then doing 50s and 100s every day. I just like looking at milestone 16. I don't really think it's worth doing the 100s personally.
Yeah.
For those rewards, so I think it's much more reasonable to do the milestone 15, which we're going to talk about.
Right on, and we're going to show the rewards when we get done here. One thing I do want to commend them on, which I'm not going to commend them on much in this event, is that it's 8 battles instead of 10, because if you quit your war fight, it doesn't count towards that 8. You either need to lose your war fight or you need to win your war fight. So the fact they dropped it from 10 to 8, I think is good, so less people will get, screwed over on that front, but still not great. This is basically a summation of what Scottie just said, but in written form. We had requests that we post this in the video. Here it is. We're going to show this for all of them. This is what you need to do to hit milestone 16. Pause the video, take a screenshot, whatever you want to do, and we're moving on. All right, so this will be for milestone 15. Now we're dropping down quite a bit to 210,000 needed points. What's the difference here?
So this is not doing 100s at all, not doing like the bonus day. Like if you didn't think to hold your 50s and 100s for this event, never fear because it's not going to hurt you. So just doing the 50 core energy refreshes each day, not having Tigra at 5 stars, or really not unlocking her at all. Once again, you don't need all 5 because you don't have to do it all at once in war. You can just do it with the 4-piece twice,
Okay.
or even like the 4-piece and then just one of them if you want to, whatever you fancy. This is still doing the free claims because they are giving us 400 of the mystical energy as a free claim, and then 500 milestone points. So it's the 2 combined. And then once again, assuming that you're finishing the web milestone, which gives us 3,500 each day.
Cool. Once again, this is written form what he just said. Screenshot it, make out with it, whatever you want to do. We're moving on. All right, and this will be the final track. This is for just milestone 14. We're looking at 196,000 points. And what do we got going on here? Is this still a Tigra unlock?
Mockingbird?
Mockingbird, sure.
So you don't need to unlock Tigra. You're still going to get the 80 shards. And Mockingbird's only a 45 unlock, so she's pretty easy to unlock.
Yeah, fair enough. You know, I always, in my head, it's defaulted to 3 stars. And I would just like to emphasize to any Scopely employee who might be watching, just because you put a character as a 2-shard unlock, unless it's a special character like Zim or Quicksilver, we expect to get these regular characters at 3 stars on the unlock. So just because you put the number 45 there, doesn't mean we're not going to complain when you make the event really a 45 shard giveaway. We don't like that. All right, wrapping this up. These are the words for what Scottie just said. Take a picture, bring it home, show your mom, put it on the fridge, whatever you want to do. We're moving on. These are the rewards. Let's just go in game because this is super stretched out and ugly. let's just go in game. All right, so here is the event, the Recruiting Mockingbird event. As you see, I only have 500 points, and right away the leaderboard. All right, guys, this is why these events are like this, because people do it. People do
That's
it.
So gross.
I've had interaction with Fergus. He's a lovely individual. We're not gonna dwell on people who are killing this event in the first 3 hours. All right. The rewards in this event are pretty lackluster. Even the teal origin gear, we're getting 40, 50 here. I believe we get 60 elsewhere. Or sorry, 80, 100, so not so bad. And this is where Scottie has led us up to. So milestone 14 is where we're going to get the event item, which we need to finish up this current Secret Defenders. Milestone 15, go ahead.
And they are giving us the gear tier 18 at milestone 15. So like clearly they knew getting to the end was not going to be like plausible for most people. So like I do applaud them for putting that at 15. It just still just feels gross.
Yeah, so I will concede the fact that we're getting gear tier 18. What I won't concede is that this shield tech in the other event, like for the Ronin event we just had, we got all that osmium before the Whalestones. Milestone 17 is deep into whaling CAD territory. You brought up milestone 16, how it's not worth it. I agree 1,000%. This isn't even gear tier 17. This is gear tier 16 pieces. Yeah, this is gear tier 16 pieces with 250k ISO 4 and 2 Elite 5s. As we're going to talk about, like, we think red stars are on their way out. So milestone 16 is not worth it whatsoever. The jump from milestone 15 to 17 is 77,000. Basically, if you want to do that in the form of energy, divide 70,000 by 4. That's the amount of energy you'd have to spend extra on top of what Scottie's already talked about, which is just crazy. And it just gets crazier and crazier. But the reason they're able to get away with this, the reason when we were on the leaderboard tab, we saw so many people already there, is because of these ranked rewards. So they claim they're doing less ranked rewards, less like leaderboard events, and this is probably why. So the ones they do, they're going to be so enticing that people are going to go crazy, and they'll put crazy arbitrary requirements on it. Because here's the thing, when a big spender sees the bottom milestone, that is the base level for where they start competing in the leaderboard. They don't start below that. They go all the way there. They see what other people are doing, and they go from there. So Black Cat Red Stars, Skill Gear, and ISO 5. How game-changing do you think Black Cat 6 and 7 Red Star will be? And also, just for the people who are like whales, 200 to 500 is a 5-star Black Cat, not a 6-star. So just be warned, like, you're going to get that 5-star, you already have that. But sorry, go ahead, Scottie. How impactful do you think a 6, 7-star Black Cat is?
I mean, she's really good.
Yeah.
So I could see it being impactful both in War, and Crucible and Arena. If you're doing Dark Dimension with her, like she already, I think I have her at what is it, 7 and 4? Hold please.
Well, I'll speak on the skill gear then. So the skill gear is really nice, but for me personally, there's really a short list of skill characters I'm super interested in bringing to Gear Tier 18. Black Cat's definitely on that list. Ronin's on that list, but I may be a odd duck there. Kestrel's on that list, and not many other people. All right, Scotty, what do you got? 4 or 5 red stars?
I have her at 5.
Okay.
But like she was really good in Dark Dimension. So like I can see her at 6, 7, like especially in Arena. Like usually she's the last one standing, right? In
Oh, yeah.
Arena.
This is the
So
death
you
proofs.
can just see her being even stronger and like messing up that mirror that people are trying to do, even with big time.
For sure. So the caveat I would give to that is that to get a 5-star Black Cat is $100 for the 1,200 Dark promo credits, right? Or you build it up over time. It's from 5 to 6 where her red stars actually get expensive. So if you're just spending for just the Black Cat, 2 to 500, because all you want is a red star upgrade on Black Cat, you're doing it the wrong way. You just want to get the Dark promotion credits and upgrade her that way. How are you feeling on the skill gear though? Is there many skill characters you haven't already put to Gear Tier 18 that you want to bring?
I mean, it depends, I guess, what stage you're at, because there's some people that maybe like aren't into City yet and are thinking of doing Ronin, and also want to do Black Cat and maybe want to do Fury. So like skill might be important. People might be considering doing Mockingbird, or with Tiger coming up, maybe they're planning on doing Tiger because she's skill too, right?
Nope, she's bio.
Oh, never mind. Then just Mockingbird, I guess.
Okay.
But like I think
she's good. Yeah.
skill is something that people are wanting to use, like Kingpin, Shang, like there are people, so it is a factor for sure. But I think mostly people are going for those red stars, and the big thing is for the 6 and 7, who knows when those are going to be in the DPC store.
That's another thing. This, I think, is the fastest turnaround they've ever done an event for a past legendary character. Like even Nova, I think they let him breathe for a month or so, right? Like a month or even 2 months before they had his leaderboard event for 6 and 7. Black Cat, it seems like we just got Black Cat yesterday.
I feel like it's been a bit, so like probably similar.
All right, you're not doing anything.
Sorry, I'm not agreeing with you, but like
I
I'm
know
not gonna,
it's fine. It's
not
fine.
just a yes man.
It's fine. It's fine, Scotty. Stop making me look stupid. Let's look at this stupid store. All right. So one thing we didn't talk about yet is the conversion rate on energy. So and nice good thing for Scotty, it's basically uniform, right? So every
Yes,
single
it is.
node.
It is uniform,
Yeah.
so props to that. It's just shit.
Yeah, it's uniform that looks like shit. So for every energy you spend, you get 2 mystic energy. I really hate how they call that energy. You get 2 mystic energy for every campaign energy spent, and for every mystic energy spent, you get 2 milestone points. Is how it works. All right, that was a really smooth cut edit we just did, because when we were doing this, we started talking about the amounts that things cost, and then we started talking about what sort of milestones will net you the perfect amount of this mystic currency to get like whole items. Because, and we'll talk about this, the validity of the store and how the store kind of has its problems as well, but you need to spend the currency. It's not good enough just to earn the currency. So it's important that we're getting like near perfect amounts to drain our currency for the milestone points and get stuff that we like. So this store, not half bad, right? Like we were talking, all the secret defenders are in here, but they're at a increased rate. So you saw some secret defenders in here. Can you tell us again what the cost for them was?
Well, the Robbie I saw, it was for 10 shards, it was 7,500 points.
Okay, and I have
which is similar.
I have reports that Photon and Miss Marvel are the same, 7,500.
Okay. And so the gear tier 18 pieces are also 7,500. So I guess those are like the two things that like the more end game players would be looking at.
Yeah.
So we were kind of just talking about like depending on what milestone you're going for, how much currency are you going to have to spend on those particular things? Obviously, if you're going for the smaller things, like maybe scroll is far out for you, which is the reality for a lot of people, that's not even a focus right now. And you might be looking at this as buying like the smaller things like character shards like Gwenpool or Firestar, or maybe some other uniques or something like that. But
Yeah.
based on the more, I don't know how to
High
word
end
this,
items.
like the high end items,
Yeah.
just looking at how many times you're going to be able to buy those. Hi, Bill. So milestone 16, based on that energy that you're spending to get to milestone 16, you're going to be just shy of being able to buy those high-end items 7 times. It works out to be like 6.95. So you could like do some extra like 200 core refreshes to get there, or buy like a small offer if you really want that 7th piece. But for people going for the more reasonable milestone 15, like I had talked about only spending like the 50 cores every day, but if you want to do a little extra because you also want to farm some stuff anyway, and kind of two birds, one stone, I did post some updated math for that. But basically, like today, the bonus day, you need to do the 50 cores 4 times, and I would do, and then at least on one day, it doesn't have to be today, you need to do 100 core refreshes 3 times, just once. You don't have to do it every day, just 3 times, and then do the 50 core refreshes every day. Make sure you're finishing the web milestone every day, because that's going to give you 3,500, and you're going to get 500 from the free claim every day. That's going to give you just enough to also buy it 6 times. So you can be on the same level if you still don't want to go for milestone 16, which makes sense because it's still stupid.
Yeah, like if you're going for milestone 16, what you're really doing is you're going for that 7th buy. Because as we discussed earlier, like milestone 16, there's nothing really interesting there. But that's kind of good news. So it looks like about 300 additional cores is going to get you either 5 more Gear Tier 18 uniques, or 10 more, Secret Defender shards. Because when we say high-end items, we're talking about those items that cost 7,500. And then if you are buying those items, according with this math, you will drain out your Mystic currencies, which you need to do for this event because, and I'll let Scottie take it away, this event ends before the store ends.
Currently.
So why don't we touch on that and why that's important?
Like we're hoping that they realize that this is stupid, because once again, we've always said that you should be getting points for earning the currency, not spending it, because this is the issue that people are going to get into is like you're going to be sitting here waiting for like the Gear Tier 18 pieces that you need. For me, it's salts. I think for a lot of people, it's salts.
Yeah.
But you may not see those, and then as the event's closer to the end, you're going to start panicking, and maybe you're going to start coring it, which is going to be stupid. But that's what you're going to have to do if those are the things you need. And unfortunately, maybe you still won't get it. And then in true Scopely fashion, what I just picture is we're going to get towards the end of the event, the last day, they're going to decide to extend the event and the store, and our currency is going to disappear, and then it's going to not be there for a while, and then they're going to give us too much. That could be like best case scenario.
That is best case scenario. True. Because there's Gear Tier 18s in this store.
But I don't think they'll do that. But I do think they'll wait till the last day to fix this. That is just like the typical way that they always handle these store issues, because this happens every freaking time.
Yeah.
They don't think about it, and then all of a sudden the last day they'll do something, and people have cored it for no reason, and it'll get extended. But just try to watch out. Really resist coring the store, just because it's such a waste of cores. But with spending the extra energy, technically you can buy the high-end items 6 times. It's just, will those high-end items show up for you is the other wonderful RNG factor.
Yeah, I mean, luckily at least this store does reset 3 times a day instead of 2 times a day. But we also started talking a bit, so going for milestone 15, maybe doing those extra 300 core resets will get you an additional 30 Gear Tier 18 pieces. That makes this event feel at least a little bit better. I still hate the idea that there's like 6 milestones that are just like Kraken only, but this does feel a little bit better now. So I don't know. Is this event like a big miss, or is it a big hit, or is it somewhere in the middle for you?
I think it could have been way better. I do like that there are Gear Tier 18 in here because you had said earlier today you weren't sure, and I was like, I really hope they do because that was what they did with the last like event store that was only like for that like week period.
Yeah.
So I like that they did it. I just think they one could have made the exchange rate for energy for the energy to energy conversion
Yeah.
ratio better.
I can't believe they called it Mystic
Um,
Energy for the store currency.
yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
I think they definitely could have made that better, and the milestones could feel a lot better, but they did at least give us some Gear Tier 18 even in the milestones that we can get to realistically, and those other milestones are so far away that the people that are, like us, are not going to worry about them, and
Yeah,
then let the Krakens be Krakens and fight over the red stars and have fun.
that's right. But this isn't the only event that happened today. We also had the Incursion campaign launch a little early. Let's go talk about that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So the last thing we'll talk about this video briefly is that they broke the game and they accidentally released the Incursion campaign in a roundabout way. So if you went to the Dark Promo store and you tried to click on a character you couldn't actually afford and then hit find in the Dark Promotion credits, you can access this menu. And a bunch of people, myself included, went and got it done. Now, normally I don't partake in this sort of thing, but after the 1.8 million ISO 5, never forget, I can't anymore. If other people are getting in on it, I gotta get in on it. So here I was. I did all the campaign. You can see the rewards here. We'll do some of the gameplay to show how easy it is. But let's talk through this, Scottie. Let's talk about what this was, what it could imply, and the awful, awful, awful decision Scopely made to answer this situation. So there was an update today, and presumably this was what was put in, right? And it went live at 5 p.m. Eastern.
But so the update, I didn't update, so it wasn't linked to the actual update.
Oh.
Because I hadn't actually updated, and I still had access to it.
Well, there you go. So it was in the game files in the back. I guess that's why Tana was able to find it when he did. This event, or it's not even an event, it looks like it's a permanent new campaign, similar to what the ISO campaign was when it was introduced. It's got a new energy. It has dark promotions as a reward, gold promotions for a reward. As you see, I just got 4 gold promos for doing that one. It's got characters. You see like Nobu and the hand team at 5 stars, a bunch of different characters. No really good or new characters, minus the Masters of Evil on the second last node. And I guess Invaders are on there too. No real good teams, but 5, 6, and 7 stars depending on the chapter you're in. So it's 5 stars for chapter 1, 6 stars for chapter 2, 7 stars for chapter 3. Silver promotion credits, which who cares about that, and red star orbs. Do you think this is how they're going to phase out the red star system?
I mean, we've already suspected they were going to because they've been just giving gold promos and orbs out like candy. Like I have so many elite orbs right now.
Yeah.
Which is a great catch-up mechanic for people.
Yes.
But there's a lot of people that literally their red store is currently empty because they've upgraded everybody. So clearly something is happening and this is part of it. It's just timeline we don't know. But it must not be very soon if they pulled it the way they did.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that. So this was live probably for about an hour and a half or so.
It was live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
Okay.
and I was like out for a run, seeing people talking about it on my watch, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sure it'll get pulled quick." Like I didn't stop my run, and I got home an hour later. It was still live. They knew about it.
Yeah.
And then another hour went by, and I really was like, I guess they're probably just going to leave it then at this point. And then all of a sudden, the game went down during people's Cosmic Crucible and raids.
Yeah.
And with no notice, because they easily could have just been like, hey, game's about to go down in 15 minutes, because they didn't do it right away, so it wasn't an immediate, like, we have to do this. And lots of people got to do it, but people that were asleep or at work or, not tied to their phone, which people shouldn't be, didn't get it. And they didn't do a rewind. So the people that got to do it kept it. And I don't think it puts them at a crazy, advantage because, once again, they have been shoving a lot of this stuff down our throats. And I don't think anyone got a significant amount of dark promo credits to really take, the balance between that. But it just... They do this every time they make a mistake. They pull it in a panic. Though this time they like didn't
Waited to
pull it
pull it.
for a while.
Yeah.
Like this is the first time they waited that long. And just a simple like in Discord thing, the game's
Reddit.
gonna go down
Tell
in
the envoys to
15
spread
minutes.
it. Anything. Yeah.
Just hey, don't be in a Cosmic Crucible battle because we've created this mode that if the game suddenly goes down, you're now at a disadvantage and you're gonna lose that Cosmic Crucible because of us.
Yeah.
Like just this is not a hindsight 2020 type thing. You've done this multiple times, and just a little bit of communication would have saved a lot of people issues. It wouldn't have gotten to everybody, yes, but like there's a lot of people that would have seen a Discord thing pop up and know about it and wouldn't have been in the middle of Cosmic Crucible when it happened.
Well, and let's be real. Like when the trials go live at 5, it is the diehard players that are waiting to do their Crucible right away. Those are the type of players that are in Discords. They're on YouTube channels. They will get that message. At least more of them get the message than the random person who's kind of a super casual that plays halfway through the next day, right? Or who just doesn't do their Crucible battles. It would have been definitely the way to go. But also, if this was such a big issue that you had to take it down without saying anything, why didn't they immediately nuke the servers? Immediately take the game down for 2 hours if that's how long it took them to fix it? Let me put it to you this way. This is cool. It's a cool idea to get rid of red stars. I dropped 1,000 cores on this because I was like, let's see what it's like. I dropped 1,000 cores on this. I ended up getting like 100 dark promos. I ended up getting a red star upgrade on Merc Soldier to 6 red stars. I ended up getting just a bunch of Elite 4s. I think I got like 10 gold promos. This is for the mid and new game player so that they are getting more, they're getting peppered with red star stuff. This is not for the end game player like myself. The drop rates aren't there. When this comes, if it comes with a campaign energy that refreshes, I think it's going to be kind of similar to what the ISO green campaign was for a long time, which is like, it's there. I spend my energy whenever it's up, but I'm not coring it because the drop rates just aren't that great. The dark promos are all that matter to me. I hear you on that one, and I tell you again, I spent about 1,000 cores. As you can see in that top right corner, I have 1,000. If you see me in game now, I have 100 left over. I got barely any dark promos. Hardly worth it whatsoever.
Well, it's not worth it at that rate. So like 1,000 cores. Let's look. 1,000 cores is $12. Definitely not worth it.
No, definitely not worth it. Exactly. All right, so let's finish this off by what do you think they're going to do to address this situation? Do you think there's going to be big compensation coming? Do you think there'll be a little compensation coming? Or is it going to be like that 1.8 million where they say here's compensation, but really it's like just a smack in the face, like a tortilla just smacks you in the face? What do we got coming?
God, do you think they're going to give us anything?
I think they have to. Because we had the biggest streamer in Marvel Strike Force showing people how to do it. So there was 500 people that did get it done, myself included, because I'm a huge fan. So I do think they have to do something. Especially everyone's going to be making videos of this right now, right? So they have to do something. What it is, I don't know.
And here are 5 red star orbs.
Perfect.
Get fucked, commanders.
No, that's 50 dark promotion credits. It's almost half of what I got by spending 1,000 cores. That'd be the perfect compensation. And I guess, okay, no, one final thing. Are blue stars coming? Is there a new progression path coming? If they're phasing out red stars in such a manner, there's got to be something around the corner, right?
I mean, we've been hearing about blue stars for a long time, because like that first gold promotion calendar that went up months ago when Lord of the Rings went live. We've been hearing about it. I hope not, but like I can't imagine what else they're doing, giving us this much.
Yeah, I agree. This much ability to farm it. So what I will say, and again, Scopely for listening to this, I know we've been trashing you. Well, I'm not going to stop here. Don't make a system with the word stars in it, okay? If the next system has the fucking word stars in it, people are going to get mad. Stay away from the word stars. Stay away from the word cosmos. Stay away from anything that associates with elevation, Don't use ascension. Ascension means to elevate, all right? The elevating to the stars. Don't do that. Don't call it Milky Ways. Don't call it whatever. Don't call it Milky Way bars. We don't want chocolate either. Just don't call it anything to do with stars. Call it, I don't know, mutagen X43 steroids in your butt. Call it that instead of stars. Just anything else. And I think that's it for this video. Got a little rambly there. Kind of ranted a bit. I drank too much coffee today. How was your day, Scotty? Okay, bye everybody. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.